Welcome back to 1 Hour Sports. We have a bucket list of exciting sports news and analysis for you fellas. Don't forget to like and comment on the subject that interests you. Now, let's jump right into it. The puzzle in my mind is this has been one of the worst kept secrets for quite some time, and yet we've had no announcement. What's been the hold up to all of this? Well, I think it's taken about a week to sort out all the contracts, sort out all the paperwork. Maresca himself has been on holiday in Marbella, but a Chelsea delegation has gone out and visited him and had talks with him. But he's also bringing 6 members of his backroom staff with him, including the former Chelsea goalkeeper, Willy Caballero. And it takes a while for all these contracts to be sorted out, and that's basically what's been going on in the background. But there's every expectation now that the announcement will be made today, fingers crossed. And I'm pretty sure that Maresca will be flying into London at some point this week, and we will hopefully be hearing from him. And he will be at Chelsea's training ground. Yeah, be interesting. Willy Caballero, Kepa returning. We'll try and work out which player's on and off and who's going. Okay, why Maresca? I know some Chelsea supporters are a bit sort of surprised that Maresca is their new head coach. But I think the thinking of the co-owners and the co-sporting directors is that they have built a new modern structure at Chelsea, and now they need a head coach to play modern possession-based football. And that is what they're going to get with Maresca. They don't want somebody who's a manager who's going to be on the phone signing players. They just want somebody who's going to coach the first team and also be across everything that's happening amongst the youth players and the players who are out on loan. And they also want him to deal with the media. That's all he has to do. Now he was on the shortlist. There was a shortlist of 4. He was the #1 choice unanimously. He was very impressive in his interviews. He has an incredible knowledge, apparently, of Chelsea players, the whole Chelsea squad. He knows them inside out. He's obsessed with possession-based football. He buys into the vision of the co-sporting directors at Chelsea. So I can understand why some people think this is a little bit of a risk. But the people who run Chelsea are absolutely convinced that they have the right man for the job. Under him, Chelsea are going to be great again. Okay, interesting. So I guess the bottom line is what on earth makes him better than what they had before in Pochettino. I think the feeling is that he is a better fit. I don't think Mauricio Pochettino totally signed up to what the Chelsea co-owners wanted to do and the kind of football that they wanted to play. I think Mauricio Pochettino was maybe a little bit more of a traditional manager, not the kind of new head coach that has become so popular. And I think the fit wasn't right. And I think Mauricio Pochettino is a fantastic manager, a fantastic human being. But he accepts that as well. He accepted that it was time for him to move on from Chelsea. And that's why they've decided to go in a different direction. I understand, I hear what Chelsea fans are saying, because Chelsea supporters are used to having the best of the best. But they're getting a head coach who, if you're being honest, he's never coached, managed in the Premier League before. Okay, he's worked in Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. But normally, when Chelsea appoint a manager, they are getting a Jose Mourinho. They're getting a Carlo Ancelotti. They're getting a Gus Hiddink. They're getting an Antonio Conte. They're getting the best that's out there. And if it doesn't work, Roman Abramovich would very quickly say, get your coat, time for you to leave. The next best manager in the world, whoever is hot at the moment, is coming in. So this is a little bit of a departure. But lots of things have changed at Chelsea. And this is just one more thing that fans are going to have to get used to. But make no mistake, this is a results business. If it doesn't work, I'm pretty sure Maresca is not going to be at Stamford Bridge for long. But as I said, the co-owners, the co-sporting directors are absolutely convinced that it definitely is going to work. And Maresca and his coaching team are exactly what Chelsea need and what the Chelsea squad needs at the moment. Yeah, significance of a 5-year contract, because I've got a feeling we've been here before. I mean, Andre Villas-Boas going back to Abramovich times, but Graham Potter. Oh, he's a forward-thinking coach. He's young. No, it didn't work well, did it? I think Enzo Maresca maybe has got a little bit more of a sort of ego about him than Graham Potter. I don't think necessarily Graham Potter was a great fit for Chelsea. Graham Potter had a 5-year contract as well, and it was very expensive for Chelsea when they decided to replace him. I think Mauricio Pochettino had a 2-year contract, although there was an option of an extra 12 months. I think the problem is if you're going to give somebody a 2-year contract as a manager, as a head coach, where's the stability? Pretty soon into the first season, people are going to be starting asking questions about, is he going to be hanging around? Is he going to get a new contract? So I think the Chelsea co-owners decided that 2-year contracts are not the way to go. You need some stability. You've got to send the message out that this is our guy. This is our man. We believe in him. We are going to trust him. And that's why we've given him such a long contract. I think it's even got an option for another year as well. But I haven't seen the actual details of the contract. Maybe there are some break clauses in it. Maybe there is a way that if it's not working out, either party could exit from that agreement. I'm not sure, so I don't know if it's a cast iron 5-year contract. Graham Potter had a 5-year contract as well, and it was very expensive for Chelsea when they decided to replace him. I think Mauricio Pochettino had a 2-year contract, although there was an option of an extra 12 months. I think the problem is if you're going to give somebody a 2-year contract as a manager, as a head coach, where's the stability? Pretty soon into the first season, people are going to be starting asking questions about, is he going to be hanging around? Is he going to get a new contract? So I think the Chelsea co-owners decided that 2-year contracts are not the way to go. You need some stability. You've got to send the message out that this is our guy. This is our man. We believe in him. We are going to trust him. And that's why we've given him such a long contract. I think it's even got an option for another year as well. But I haven't seen the actual details of the contract. Maybe there are some break clauses in it. Maybe there is a way that if it's not working out, either party could exit from that agreement. I'm not sure, so I don't know if it's a car. Hello fellas, welcome back on the channel. 1 Hour Sports here, as always, to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today, guys, we touch on Victor Osimhen de Jawas, but also the situation of Xavi Simons, Jonathan Tah, Saul, Omari Forson. Let's jump into it together. And so fellas, let me start with some bit of news around Europe. Many things to say, many things to mention, as always, on the transfer market. Omari Forson. Yesterday, Manchester United communicated with an official statement that the talented young striker received a new contract proposal. What we can tell you is that, according to our information, it's over between Manchester United and Omari Forson. He's leaving the club as a free agent, and he's going to join a new club, so he's not staying at Manchester United. This is the information. The club informed that they offered a new deal, but the plan is very clear for Omari Forson to try a new opportunity, who could also leave his club. In this case, we go to Spain. It's Saul, former Chelsea midfielder, now at Atletico Madrid. An important player for Atleti last season in the rotation, but now what we can say is that the plan for Saul and Atletico together is to part ways in the summer. So, they will look at solutions. There has always been a lot of interest from Saudi and Saul Niguez. Let's see if there will be some new movement around Europe, but the expectation is for Saul to leave Atletico Madrid in the summer transfer window. So keep an eye on him, because he could be one of the surprising names to follow. No surprises are expected on the two Joaos. Joao Felix and Joao Cancelo was the situation, guys. For sure, the appointment of Hansi Flick for Barcelona in this sense has been really important, because Barcelona's president, Juan Laporta, has always been a big fan of Joao Felix and also Joao Cancelo. But also the director, Deco, who is a big fan of Joao Felix and Joao Cancelo. They always wanted the two players to continue at the club beyond this season, so also for next season. Already last summer, when they signed the players, they already promised them that the intention was to keep them for a long term, not just one season. Then what happens? With Hansi Flick arriving, they have the green light from the manager. So now Barcelona have already called the agent of the player, Jorge Mendes, who is agent of Cancelo and Felix, and informed him that the intention is very clear to continue with Felix and Cancelo. Now, it's about the negotiation, because Cancelo and Felix both really want to stay at Barcelona, are both waiting for Barcelona, so the intention is very clear. But the feeling on both, Manchester City side for Cancelo and Atletico Madrid side for Joao Felix, is that the negotiation will take some time, because they need to agree on the formula of the deal. Both clubs, City and Atletico, still hope to have better conditions of the deal for Cancelo and Joao Felix after Barca got them on loan without a buy option last summer. So now for Barcelona, especially for the agent taking care of these deals, Jorge Mendes is going to be time to negotiate with Manchester City, and it's going to be time to negotiate with Atletico Madrid. Let's see the conditions, let's see the formula, let's see how much of the salary Barcelona will cover. So there are several points to discuss. The feeling of all parties involved is that it's not going to be a quick deal. It could take some time, but the discussions will start soon with Jorge Mendes, also involved for Felix and Cancelo. So Barca's mission is quite clear. Then guys, I wanted to clarify something on Jonathan Tah, the centre-back who did a fantastic season at Bayer Leverkusen. What's the situation of Jonathan Tah? He has 1 year left on his contract at Bayer Leverkusen. He has a contract proposal from Bayern Leverkusen to continue there. But what we can say is that we have many rumors on Chelsea, many rumors on Bayern. The information we can share is that Bayern are clear favourites in this race. More than Chelsea, way more also than other English clubs interested in Jonathan Tah, because Bayern really want to go and sign Jonathan Tah. They consider him as one of the priority targets. Physical player, knows the league, speaks German obviously. His German can be a big opportunity on the market with 1 year left on his contract. And so Bayern really want to make something serious for Jonathan Tah in the next weeks. Let's see what's going to happen. But for sure, Bayern are favourites over Chelsea for Jonathan Tah as priority target. So this is going to be one of the cases to watch in the summer transfer window in the next weeks. But Bayern will go really strong, so now it's going to be up to the player. But for sure, Jonathan Tah is one of the priority targets. And then Xavi Simons, another fantastic player in Bundesliga, on loan from Paris Saint-Germain. He did very well at Bull Leipzig. We had many rumors on his future. I always told you Paris Saint-Germain could lose the player on loan, could allow the player to go on loan, not lose, but let him go on loan. But they have no intention to sell the player this summer. So what's the point? Now, the situation remains clear. Xavi Simons is expected to leave Paris Saint-Germain this summer. The feeling is still the same, but still expected to leave on loan, not on a permanent transfer. This is very clear on Xavi Simons. Then, we know that there is interest from Red Bull Leipzig. They want to keep the player. They will try until the end to push for this one, to keep Xavi Simons at the club. So, let's see what's going to happen there. We know there was interest from Barcelona, but it's complicated now because of the feeling at Barca that this deal could be more difficult now with many clubs involved. Barca wanted to keep their Xavi Simons operation on loan secret. Now, there are many clubs arriving, Bull Leipzig, but especially including Bayern, because Bayern are entering really strong in the race for Xavi Simons. Why? Max Eberl, the director of Bayern, is the man who brought Xavi Simons to Red Bull Leipzig last summer. And to sign Xavi Simons last summer on loan from PSG was a very difficult mission. It was about 6-7 clubs asking for Xavi Simons. Max Eberl was very convincing in face-to-face talks with the player, with his family, and with his agents. And so now, Max Eberl is at Bayern, the same man who signed Xavi Simons for Leipzig. He will go really strong again. He's already working on that, Max Eberl, and he already has the green light from Vincent Kompany. They both believe that Xavi Simons will be a fantastic addition. Quality, technical player, big potential, and also the possibility to enter immediately in the ideas of Vincent Kompany because he knows Bundesliga already well. So the idea of Bayern is to attack the situation of Xavi Simons. How much it will take? It will take some time because the original idea of Simons was to decide before the Euros. This was also the plan of Barcelona, to make everything as fast as possible, as secret as possible. But now many clubs are coming, Bayern too, and Xavi Simons is expected to decide after the Euros. So he will take his time. He will focus on the Euros. Bayern will be there. Leipzig will be there. Other clubs also could move from England. So the situation remains open, but for sure the interest from Bayern is something really strong to consider in this race for Xavi Simons. And then, keep an eye again also on Victor Osimhen, because I know there has been a lot of stories, a lot of reports on the future of Osimhen. What we can say is that this week, nothing concrete is happening or will happen. This is the feeling around Victor Osimhen. We will see starting from next week what's going to happen with the player, waiting to have a conversation also with Napoli to understand the situation that is really close. But what's the point? Chelsea, as I already told you, are not going for Victor Osimhen. So Osimhen and Chelsea will not happen, as I already told you. At least as of today, this is the feeling. Lukaku Napoli is a serious possibility. Osimhen Chelsea is no longer a topic at the club. And so what's the point on Victor Osimhen? He's still convinced that he will leave Napoli in the summer transfer window. And Napoli are still convinced that Osimhen will leave this summer. So now it's about finding the best solution. I can guarantee that nothing is advanced yet with any club. They are looking for possibilities, waiting for concrete proposals. So Osimhen is still expected to leave, not going to Chelsea and waiting for the right opportunity. It's a strategical moment in the market, so let's wait and see what happens. But the expectation remains for Victor Osimhen to leave. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories. Victor Osimhen, where do you see his future? But also Jonathan Tah, Xavi Simons, what's the best solution for him? And also De Jong, where do you see their future? I wait for your opinion guys here in the comments. Like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Ciao.